It's time for another exciting episode of the podcast. Hopefully it's exciting. So I parked on the street today near where I was having 3 cookies. And I did that thing where if I really wanted to, I could have made room for another car to park, but it would have been a tight fit. So instead of doing that, I just basically took up 2 spots. And I'm terrified that it pissed somebody off. That's how my day started. That's not how my day started. My day started with me getting up and trying to figure out how my bladder spasms were doing. So we're in midday now. And I'm terrified that somebody saw that and just got really frustrated. Because I've seen people get frustrated at cars that take 2 parallel parking spots. Now, obviously, I would never take 2 regular parking spots. I'm not a barbarian. But I also don't want to be stuck, because sometimes what'll happen is that if there's really, if there's barely enough room, I feel like I won't be able to get out of the parallel parking spot. So I deliberately make it impossible. There should be 2 spots there. I make it impossible for that to happen. I'm one of those people. And I know that there's a lot of rage directed towards me out there. So it's I feel like I'm taking a big risk admitting this. But then I remember that at best I get 5 listeners. So hopefully none of them are in the state. It's not meant to be a brag that I get 5 listeners. That's meant to be an acknowledgement of where I am at in the industry. Just an assessment. I've got pain going down both of my legs. I'm concerned that it might be a neurological disorder or cancer. Those are the 2 places I go to. The reality could just be that I never move, and it's my body saying, please use me, I'm here. That could be what my sex organs are saying. Hey, remember, we're still here. Hello? Hello? I think my gonads right now are like Tom Hanks on that island without even the volleyball. That's where I'm at. I'm nervously rubbing my fingers against the palms of my hands. Everything I do is nervous. I could take the adverb nervously and apply that to every single sentence of everything I do. All I do is feel anxiety. I'm anxious right now. I'm recording this in a parking lot, and parking lots I never feel good in parking lots. I can't imagine anyone feels good in parking lots, but I never feel good in parking lots. I just feel like that's where I'm going to get jumped, because I just remember the story of this kindly old woman who was a family friend. No, I think she was actually like a distant cousin or something, and she was jumped in a parking lot of a mall. And I think it was one of those situations where she never quite recovered from the attack. And so that's like, I can hear my mother saying she was never the same after that. That was it. Never the same after that. And that just haunts me. And overall, I'm trying to be more emotionally available. Not in real life on stage. But then again, one could argue that stage is more real than real life. Or that all the world is the stage. And perhaps what I need to do is be more vulnerable in real life. Sometimes I think I'm too vulnerable. I too quickly will talk about the bladder spasms. That's an issue. But that is my concern. So I screwed up that parking spot. Yeah, afraid someone's going to beat me up when I do that. I don't think that's out of the realm of I'm afraid that somebody's going to beat me up, and whoever they are, it's going to be a he. And in my mind, I am seeing someone wearing a leather jacket. And that's probably not fair, because there's so many people out there who wear leather jackets who don't beat up people. So that's a faulty stereotype on the leather jacket. It's hard to believe that somebody would beat me up if they were wearing a windbreaker. I don't know. You buy a windbreaker, I feel like you are inherently kind. And again, that could be a false stereotype. So why do I feel that way about people who buy the leather jackets? I don't know. There's something about wearing leather. It's one step away from wearing, from skinning an animal and wearing it and kind of proclaiming to the world, I hunted this. That's why one of the reasons why I don't want to wear leather. I want to wear the opposite. I want to wear whatever coat says, I am being hunted. I was overhearing a guy today. I could tell he was in his 20s because he was confident and happy. And he was talking about how money shouldn't be the goal. Money is a tool to help you get to your goal. And I think both of those are horrible. Because if the goal is at the top of a cliff and money is the rope to get to the top of the cliff, if I don't have any money, the only way for me to get to the top of the cliff is to free climb, and if something happens, I'm dead. And what's at the top of the cliff? Why is my goal at the top of the cliff? I just want to earn a decent living as a comedian. Who put that at the top of a cliff? Why would you do that? I'll tell you who it was. The corporate industrial complex. That's who it was. That's not where we're going. This is not going to be that kind of podcast. I'm watching a helicopter fly. I'd be terrified to fly a helicopter. There's something about the helicopter that I have a fear of flying already, but a helicopter, it just seems so precarious to me. The spinning blades. The whole thing hinges on blades spinning. I mean, with a plane, I may be crazy, but if the engine goes out, maybe you can glide, maybe. But a helicopter, if the thing stops spinning, there's no hope, right? Or is it that if it stops spinning, it's still the air force of the air I'm not sure. The helicopter scares me. Wouldn't want to use a helicopter. Barely like using cars. I was watching a nature show where they're taking these robot spy cams now and these drone cams and putting them around these animals that you normally can't film around, like tigers and polar bears. And it's amazing to me how all these we are no better than the animals. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we think we're so superior. We're not. We're the same as the animals. The animals are the same as us. Got a polar bear taking care of the cubs. I feel like what she's saying in the growls is the same thing that parents say to their children. Do you know how long I was in labor with you? And now we're trapped on this ice sheet. Shut up! Get off my back. You are too going to ice college. I don't think there's an ice college for polar bears. There's something inherently depressing in the sound of a bear growling. Every time the bear growls, I don't know what it is, but they sound depressed to me. Maybe I'm just projecting. I'm definitely projecting. But the bears sound depressed. Tigers and lions, they just sound angry. Just, ah! But the bears is like, like those polar bears. Oh my God, that's... But I have to remember that they have these extra fur coats, so they're thick. So to them, that they're warm. That's fine. It looks like they're freezing, but they're not. They are actually don't do well in the warmer weather. That's a tough gig, polar bears. I like the elephants. There's something about the elephants that they seemed, of all the animals, I feel like what I liked about the elephants is that somehow they seemed less stressed. Maybe it's because they're so big, no other animal can hunt them really. But there's something, I mean, they were stressed. I mean, they're still stressed. They're animals. But they seemed just a tad more laid back. Just a little bit more. If Bob Marley were to come back as any animal, I feel like it would be the elephant for him. That would make sense. It's that kind of laid back quality that I noticed. Big fan of the elephants.